Today, we're diving into a technology so powerful, it's set to completely rewrite the rules of finance as we know it. Yeah, we're talking about quantum computing. So let me start with a question for you. How would you find the single best answer to a problem that has trillions, literally trillions of possibilities? This isn't just a thought experiment. For the entire financial industry, this is the daily high-stakes game they have to play. You see, finance has always been a race to find that one perfect answer, the most profitable trade, the most accurate risk model. But what we're seeing now is a new kind of computing that doesn't just make the runners faster. It completely changes the laws of physics for the race itself. So let's get into what makes this such a massive leap. We're talking about a whole new way to think about calculation. This isn't just a faster chip. It's a completely different kind of thinking machine. So what even is quantum computing? Well, think about it like this. A normal computer looks at problems one by one, step by step. It's methodical, but it's slow for really huge problems. A quantum computer, on the other hand, uses the weird rules of physics to look at all the possible solutions at the exact same time. For the kinds of complex puzzles finance deals with, that's not just an improvement, it's a revolution. So how does this incredible power actually get used in finance? Well, the first big area is something called optimization. This is all about using that quantum power to find the one best answer we talked about to really unlock peak financial performance. The first classic problem everyone's trying to solve is portfolio optimization, right? Every investor wants to find that perfect mix of assets, stocks, bonds, whatever, to get the highest possible return with the lowest possible risk. But with thousands of options out there, the number of combinations is just astronomical. And this isn't just theory. This is happening right now. Citi's innovation labs have teamed up with a quantum software company called Classic to tackle this very problem. They're using these special quantum algorithms to find better investment mixes faster than ever. We're talking about finding solutions that a classic computer might just completely miss. Okay, the next huge optimization puzzle is credit risk. How can a bank know for sure how likely a person or a company is to default on a loan? Getting this right is absolutely crucial. It affects who gets loans, what the interest rates are, and even how stable the bank is. And this isn't just for Wall Street. The Bank of Canada, a central bank, is looking into how quantum methods can make their financial stress tests way more powerful. These are the simulations they run to see if the whole system can survive a major crisis. The goal here is to make the entire financial system safer, and quantum is already showing it has a real advantage. Now, beyond just making things optimal, quantum is also pushing the boundaries in two other massive areas: artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. We're talking smarter decisions and way stronger defenses. This is where we get into something called quantum machine learning, or QML. And its early uses are hitting some of finance's biggest headaches. The biggest chunk is going toward fraud detection, followed closely by predicting when customers might leave, and even creating fake but realistic data to train AI models without compromising anyone's privacy. And we're already seeing the results. An Italian bank, Intesa Sanpaolo, is working with IBM to spot fraud more accurately. In Brazil, Itaú Unibanco actually boosted their accuracy in predicting customer churn from 71% up to nearly 78%. And Fidelity is using quantum to generate that synthetic data. These aren't just pilot programs. They're delivering real, measurable value. But here's the catch, and this is so important to understand. Quantum computing is really a double-edged sword. On one side, you have these amazing opportunities, smarter AI, maybe even digital money that's impossible to forge. But on the other side, you have a huge looming threat. A quantum computer could one day be powerful enough to break the encryption that protects basically all of our financial data. So how do you defend against a quantum attack? Well, you fight fire with fire. You use quantum against itself. A key technology here is called quantum key distribution, or QKD. The best analogy I've heard is to think of it like a lock that's constantly and randomly changing its combination. It uses the laws of physics to make it impossible to eavesdrop without getting caught. And guess what? This isn't science fiction. These defenses are being built right now. Danske Bank has already done a live data transfer protected by QKD. HSBC is testing quantum keys to secure digital gold. A project in Japan even showed off unforgeable quantum money. The next generation of financial security is literally being built as we speak. So let's talk numbers. What's the scale of all this? Well, according to McKinsey, by 2035, the economic value that quantum computing could unlock in finance alone could be somewhere between $400 and $600 billion. That is an absolutely mind-boggling number. It's a fundamental shift. Which, of course, leads to the big question: what should banks and financial firms be doing right now to get ready? Because this isn't about waiting for the tech to be perfect. It's about preparing today for the world of tomorrow. And the path forward is pretty clear. Experts have laid out a 5-step action plan. First, you have to have a plan. Make sure your quantum goals line up with your business goals. Second, you can't do it alone. Collaborate with tech companies and others in the industry. Third, build awareness internally, from the boardroom to the tech teams. Fourth, and this is maybe the most urgent, get your security ready for a post-quantum world. And finally, you just got to start. Start small with pilot projects, see what works, and then scale up from there. You know, this quote just sums it up perfectly. Yeah, the technology is still maturing, but the time to get started is absolutely now. The companies that are proactive today are the ones who are going to be leading the next huge wave of financial innovation. And that leaves us with one final, really big thought. The quantum era in finance, it isn't a matter of if it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. The potential is enormous, but the risks are just as real. So the only question left is the financial world really ready to make the leap?